this is Matt with Rockstars Magazine with Aaron Jones, who is in the U.S. Army. He's a Sergeant First Class. And first off, Aaron, I want to thank you, first and foremost, on behalf of Rockstars Magazine and myself for, maintaining peace in the world and risking your life so we can enjoy the pleasures that we do from day to day. I interview a lot of rock stars, and quite frankly, they're just band nerds who, dress well and get chicks now as opposed to when they were in high school. Now, however, you, Aaron, you actually do something that helps us to maintain those liberties and freedoms, and we want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Can you explain how the military life has interwoven tattoos as part of its recent heritage? I know it wasn't accepted always, but in the past 100 years or so, it seems to have become more of a staple. Would you say that that's an accurate phrasing, interwoven? I mean, I've seen a lot of people who are in the armed forces more and more, with ink on them. What do you have to say of tattoos becoming more and more of the United States military subculture?
I would say that, tattoos have been more accepted, I would say, more or less in the last 30 years. I mean, it's always been, you have a couple guys here and there throughout time who've always, gone and had tattoos. The Navy was famous for having the pin-up girls on their forearms during their times of service. But that was, very rare, and it was kept to a low-key minimum. Today, with the rotational duties that the military in a whole, as in the Marines and the Army, the Air Force, and all armed services, Navy, and so forth, as they are facing more and more rotations, you're having a larger turnover of personnel. Some of those personnel, are coming off the streets where, we all came from. We all started, as just an everyday citizen. And more people are coming to volunteer to serve in the armed forces, but they've already got a lot of ink on them. That's just part of what they're doing as their self and as their life, And so the military has adapted along with those changes and their need for more personnel and for more soldiers to continue to hold one of the greatest armies in the world, as the United States military is.
Would you say it's like a rite of passage in some aspects?
Well, in some aspects, I would say that yes. You'll find a lot of guys that, whether they are just have pride in America, they have pride in their platoons that they get in hooked up with, or in their company as a whole. They might have a certain company, whether it's an armored cav unit or a engineering unit. I mean, you've got guys that are from wide aspects, and I want to say those are two different types of units that will, but either one of them would come into that area. Some guys will have tattoos because of personal accomplishments they've made, whether they've gone to airborne school, or they've gone to ranger school, or they've had other classes that they've taken that has elevated them as a soldier through training and such. They will put something, a marking on themselves for that, their personal sense of pride.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
Could you please, I understand you have some ink on yourself.
Yes.
Would you mind displaying it and telling us about the personal reason as to why you put it on you?
Yeah, I see. I could do that.
It's not your butt or anything. I'm sure it's a nice butt, but
No, it's on.
Sorry, ladies.
I have a few.
Jesus Christ.
I have a few different ones. Like this one here is a tattoo I got for being a father. This is my father tattoo. It's kanji symbol for being a father. This one here is a kanji symbol for being a soldier.
For those of us who aren't familiar with kanji, what is kanji exactly?
It's just a type of, I'm not sure if it's not Asian. Well, it's Asian in background, but it's not specific to Chinese or Japanese or
But it means father.
Filipino. Yeah, that's what the symbol. This one's a soldier. I think this piece right here in the center was the first one I got, and it was just something that I got on my own. I had thought about getting a tattoo from the time I was 18, and I didn't get this one until I was 30. This was the first one. So I waited 12 years, and I went through a lot of decisions as to what I was going to do, if I was going to do anything. And this is an original that's not mimicked anywhere, and it was destroyed after it was put on my body. And it's just kind of something that it just symbolized to me. It was just kind of that breakout, that where I was spreading my wings, and I got it before I toured to Iraq on my first tour. I got this just before then, and it was just kind of like
Wow.
going out and becoming something different, and this is when it all started for me.
Wow, the eagle's impressive too. Look at this, guys. Look at it. It's a nice piece.
The eagle I just got not too long ago.
Where'd you get it done?
Up in Washington, state of Washington.
Okay.
I get kind of each one of my tattoos in a different location when I travel with the military.
Okay.
This piece here, you know what? It was just something that it's my America piece, and it's just something that I felt that as a soldier, as a citizen, as a person, you know, just this is America, and this is where I went with that. I got this piece of tribal that spreads across this verse.
He's got a psalm. He's a man after my heart. Psalm 27:3. Though my enemies attack me, I will not fear. Though battle rage around me, I will still trust in God. Very good.
And that's just that kind of came from my Christian upbringing, and it just kind of said that no matter where I go or what I do in battle with the military, that I trust in God to always be on my back. And then this is just kind of, I don't know. It's
part of that tribal.
Yeah, well, it was just kind of a mix of something engulfing who I am and everything.
Well, it's some bad piece of ink, man.
Thanks.
That's nice. And then you got one more in the small.
Yeah, this is
it's pretty ornate.
That's the center of my life, and it's my children.
That's beautiful.
There's a symbol, a kanji symbol for twins in the center, and then their names are engulfed in the sun around it. I think my daughter's name is on top, my son's name is on the bottom part of the sun, and then their birth year is split left and right.
Beautiful.
So,
Okay. Very cool. Now, when you're about to go in the thick of battle, what gets you through those moments?
well, you know, there's a lot of things. You know, you look at things such as, you know, your faith. You know, you look at, you know, you think about your family, you think about your training. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there, and you know, and if you're trying to, you know, get hyped up, you know, whether some people are you know, opposites. Some people will become very calm. I become very calm in nature, and I try to look into myself as to where I'm headed, what I'm doing, and try to get spun up inside as to what I'm actually doing. But on the outside, pure calm. But in my head, I'm going 1,000 miles an hour. You know, there's a lot of things that you look at when you do that kind of stuff. So,
there are any certain bands that or in songs that get you through?
you know, there's, you know, a lot of the stuff. Well, you know, when we gear up, a lot of the guys are, you know, got music going, and you know, if you sometimes, you know, you listen to your own personal music as you're loading your weapons, loading your pack, loading your truck. Some guys might just have a radio going, and everybody's listening to what they are. And you know, personally, I like to listen to Mudvayne when I.
And keep in mind, a lot of these bands might be watching this interview, so you want to
Yeah.
give a shout out to some of them right now?
Well, you know, these are the types.
Mudvayne being one of them.
Mudvayne, and I just dig by Mudvayne is just a sick tune. You know, if you ever listen to that, and
Awesome
I highly
bassist.
It's disgusting, and it just gets me just mad hyped up. It brings out my inner demons that lead me out there to give me this, you know, some of that type of, you know, ready to go type stuff. I love listening to Disturbed.
Great band that does
Yeah.
support our troops.
Atreyu, they got some good stuff that, you know, I listen to, and just, you know, there's a lot of Godsmack, you know, just guys that are just grinding it out. That really, I want to say this makes basically, it's like that grinding guitar sound, just gets me right where I gotta be. You know, so.
Highly relatable, although I've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
I went very, very well. Speaking of me not faring very well, I seen the movie Hurt Locker, and in that movie there's a point where the actors, the main soldiers of the movie, are beating the crap out of each other in the barracks, and it seems like they're doing this for fun. Now, have you ever seen or witnessed or participated in anything like that? Because I frankly don't think I'd really enjoy that game with you.
You know, it's guys, you're dealing with a lot of testosterone. You know, a lot of testosterone, and you know, when you're pent up like that, and guys, they just get goofy, and you know, and a lot of it's all in good fun.
So you've beaten the crap out of somebody?
Well, I wouldn't say beating the crap out of somebody, you know, so much.
I could see you doing that.
Do a lot of combative wrestlings, and you know, you might tackle a guy into a locker or into their dressers, or you know, maybe they get a little bit hurt during the process, but you know, it's all good fun, and you know, you shake it off and hug afterwards, and it's all good brotherly stuff, you know.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm just glad I never had to do that with you. You know, let me see here. You know, what was I going to ask you? The best, you know, they're going overseas. That's got to be cool. I mean, I would love to travel the world. What's the best part of going overseas that a civilian probably wouldn't even think about, you know, as a soldier? What's it like going out? And what do you enjoy as being a soldier and going out in the world?
Well, I haven't been fortunate enough to catch one of those, you know, duty stations where you get to go overseas and, you know, live everyday life and be a part of the culture or participate in different events. My overseas time has been going to third world countries, looking at people living in poverty, fighting on a daily basis. Those have been my overseas events. But, you know, it's, you get an appreciation, I guess, more or less for what you have at home. And you try to understand how people here don't understand, and you get a sense of enlightenment where you start to understand that, you know, that guy right there who just flipped me off in traffic, he really doesn't understand. He really doesn't understand that you know what, your rat race that you're caught in is amounts to this much in the world. You know, so you know what, if cutting me off in traffic and flipping me off made your day, well, you know what, I got bigger things. I've seen better things, you know, not better things. I've seen bigger things than you. And you can just go ahead and have that spot because I don't need it that bad. You know?
Could you tell us what places you've seen action in?
I've served in Iraq and in Afghanistan. Both locations. Iraq, I was there in 03 and 05. Or 03 through 05 was my tour for Iraq, and our tour for Afghanistan was 08 and 09.
So you've been in both hot pots on the stove right now?
Yeah, basically, and you wouldn't think that.
And a man in charge too.
Yeah, in Afghanistan I was, yes. I was the security force NCOIC in the northwest province of Baghdis province. Excuse me. We had a little operation going on up there, Operation Iron Fist, and it operated from, I think it was February of 09 to about July, August 09. And the main purpose was to stop the filtration of the drugs that were coming from the south as they're trying to take the poppy north and get it out of the country. And we were like the last line defense to try to stop that so they couldn't get the drug money to bring it back in to purchase the bombs that they were using to attack our soldiers. So we were on the front lines every day up there.
I salute you for that, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Also, is there anything else you care to add to this interview today?
No, I just thank you for your time, you know, for interviewing me. You know, hopefully maybe shed a little bit of light on a couple of things and answer some questions for people.
Well, thank you very much, Aaron.
Thank you.
This is Matt with Rockstars Magazine. Thanking my cameraman Paul for doing such a great job. Thanks again, Aaron, and all you men and women out there who are fighting a good fight for America. God bless.